that is seeking a new opportunity and maybe where he's studying. But if you've got a specific specialisation within your engineering degree, you might want to pop that down and just simply say seeking new opportunities. This is your most important as it follows you everywhere. So when I come up to talking about groups and engaging there, this headline is incredibly important because people are going to see, okay, you know, 3 works for, or is currently looking for an opportunity, here is his background. He said some really cool things on my article recently. He knows what he's talking about. I'm looking for a new engineer. I might reach out to them. Or you're going to reach out to them actually before they even know that they need you. That's what I'm going to sort of teach you a little bit about today. So it's a 120 character book that you have. The first 86 is the most important because on a mobile device, which is what most people look at now, you only see the first 86 characters of that headline, and then you have ... dots. So whatever is the most important that you think, make sure that it fits into that first 86 characters. So you might want to put, I don't know, specialist civil engineer, mastering in such and such, looking for new opportunities. Okay?
How specific should be?
Well, you've got 120 characters.
I mean, in terms of major, should we break it down to, for example,
you probably won't have enough characters. Whatever you think is really important, so long as you have your particular, so give me an example.
For example, I'm pavement engineer. I can put civil, which is very broad, or I can put road engineer, or I can put pavement engineer.
So you're pavement engineer?
Yeah.
So you could put civil engineering.
That isn't broad.
Specialising in pavement.
Yeah.
Or I'd put pavement.
Yeah, so it doesn't limit him if he does payment, for example?
No, it's just that if recruiters are looking for him, he'll have engineering under his industry, and then that will come up in his search. But he's got pavement engineering still. So it's about the keywords, having your keywords in there. That's what's the most important. So you need to be repeating the keywords you want to be found for as much as you can within your headline and within your summary. Because recruiters look for those keywords and they cull based on them. So does that make any more sense? I would be specific if that's your area of specialisation.
And what about the qualifications like RPQ, NPR, CPN?
Are they really? Are they vital in your industry?
Just the credibility.
Yeah.
Credibility. That does come down. If you have the room, I would try and include them. So pavement engineer, whatever your acronyms are, and then seeking full opportunity. But the main thing is to get engineering in there, your specific specialisation, and then looking for a new opportunity if you are. Or if you are actually in employment, you would say what area that you're in employment in. Okay? You need to outline your skills and what you are looking for, as I've said, so seeking opportunities. So I just quickly had a look at a few examples. They're not, you know, amazing again, but it's just giving you an example of sorts of things you can write. So I just searched for engineering in California, and this guy came up. So strategic and leadership advisor to construction companies, CEOs, owners and executives. So obviously it's a specialisation. He didn't even mention engineering in there, but obviously he's mentioned it somewhere else for that to come up. But at least he's been very specific about where he works. So obviously he is an engineer, maybe has evolved into that sort of specialisation. So the really important thing is to be able to speak to the companies about what your specific specialisation is in. And you can be a bit clever about that. So hopefully that makes sense. Another example, multi-award winning, diversified, innovative leader, engineer, rotating equipment, LNG, aerospace. So that's another example. So if you've won any awards, whack it in. He looks really good. And he's obviously, you know, cut it down to the specific areas of specialisation. Very attractive. Yep. Okay. He's obviously well connected as well, with 500 plus connections, and if you can aim to have that, you're doing really well. Does anyone have 500 plus connections? You do? Awesome. That's great. You've got a whole pool of people then to have a look for or to connect you with. Just another couple examples, and these aren't engineering specific related, but they give you an idea. So business connection specialist, training business owners, referral strategies, speaker with limited availability. So he's also mentioned his availability as well. And the other one over there is CEO and LinkedIn most recommended executive coach, helping you engage, retain and improve your most critical people. I mainly speak to business owners about how to generate leads from LinkedIn, which they write a very different profile to what you would write. So I'm using these couple of examples because just to show you the sorts of wording and things to use. Okay? So here's a few examples of some headlines. Award-winning, and they're not specifically related to engineering, I'm sorry, but they're still IT, so you kind of get the drift. Award-winning IT solution provider, managed services and IT support reveals how your business can be secure in the cloud. So he hasn't really talked about what he does, but how he can add value to the particular people that are reading it. Number one, publicity expert on Google, president of the Publicity Hound. Call and ask how I can help you with PR and social media. Introductions, relationship building, market research and lead generation for entrepreneurs. So they're not specifically related to your field, I'm sorry, but you kind of get the idea of you're always supposed to be thinking about who's reading it and what value that you're going to add to the company. Moving on from that headline, which is really, really important, and your photo, which is really, really important, is the next very important thing, which is your summary. Some of the mistakes is people make it too short or it's non-existent. You've got 2,000 characters to strike your stuff. Use all of them, okay? Talk about your past experiences in paragraphs. Talk about your most notable things that you've done, your particular areas of specialisation, your interest. But remember, when I said at the start, think about the companies that you want to work for, your ideal companies, and be able to speak to them. So have them in mind when you're writing your profile. What would appeal to them? Why would they want to hire you? And remember that it's really important that you enter your keywords that you want to be found for as much as you can without not making sense. So you want to be mentioning engineering a lot and your particular area of specialisation. The reason I said the 170 characters is most important for the mobile, because that's all they see of your summary. So make sure that those first 170 characters mention, obviously, your specialisation, because then they have dots. And on the desktop, it's 363 characters, and then I've got read more. And hopefully you've enticed them enough that they will. But you've got basically 3 seconds to impress. But you're doing lots of other stuff that's going to draw them in, so hopefully they will read on. Develop a mix. While it's important to show what you have done, demonstrate how you can add value to the company. So as I said before, and I'll say it again, always be thinking of the reader in mind, the recruiter in mind, whoever that you're going to be speaking with. Whether they've got a HR person or external recruitment company, that usually these days, the big companies that you're probably working for have an internal HR person. They're looking for reasons to cut you out rather than pull you in. So make sure that everything that you've done that's relatable to them, speaking to them, is there. This is a really big one, call to action. Nobody at the bottom of their summary goes, hey, if you're interested to know more, email me at, or call me if you're happy to have your phone number there. Or, I don't know, if you've got your own personal website with all your portfolio of work, direct them to that. So it's really important that you tell them the next steps of how to get in contact with you. Okay, so just very quickly we're going to have a look at some of the other profile parts. So then experience, obviously this is going to be vital for you all to show your authority in your particular area. So use your past to validate your present. So you've got a jar full of all sorts of rocks, and all of them have made you to who you are today and the level that you are today and the expertise that you have today. And statistics have shown that you're 12 times more likely to be viewed with more than one experience. And remember, it's important to show, not tell. So show them key achievements that you've had in your roles, key projects, problems that you've solved in the engineering space, money that you've maybe saved companies. You'll feel a little bit better than me, but you know the sorts of things that you should be pushing in those areas. Endorsements are another big thing. You know what they are? The skills right at the bottom of the profile. Does anyone know how to reorder them? Would anyone be interested in knowing what I'm talking about and how to reorder the endorsement section?
Of
Yep.
ours or others?
Of yours. Can I again use your profile?
Yeah, sure,
Do you mind?
definitely, yeah.
Alright, so let's have a look at this.